dropped out of high school probably because I was dyslexic. I had a really hard time following along what was going on in most of my classes. I just thought work was the best thing for me. Working at age 12, 13, 14, not full-time. I got my first full-time job when I was 15, and I've basically been working full-time since then. When you're a teenager, you don't logically think of all your options. You live in the moment and you do what you want. It was as if school was choking me, and I needed to, like my necktie was too tight and I needed to loosen it. And the only way to loosen it and to relieve the pressure was to flee. And that's what I did. So I dropped out of school when I was 15, out of high school. And as soon as my class graduated, I took the GED. So I had a high school equivalency diploma. I was, I think, 21 years old. I went to my brother's wedding in San Francisco, and he had just graduated from law school, and the days leading up to his wedding, I was hanging out with him and his friends, and it was watching them interact when a light bulb went on that I was missing something in my life, and what it was self-confidence, and it was because of my lack of education. And so that was a defining moment in my life when the light bulb went on, and I decided I need to go back to school to fill this void. Just went with all the 15-year-olds and took the SAT tests one Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning and scored very well, surprisingly, and was accepted into college. And that's where I went for 2 years. I attended Southern Connecticut State University for 2 full years, so that would be 4 semesters. And during that process, it was doing exactly for me what I thought it would do. And I started to sort of feel like a new person. And I looked around and decided that the small town I was living in was too small for me. I wanted to expand my horizons and just be somewhere else. And that choice was San Francisco. My brother was there. I wanted to go to transfer colleges to University of California at Berkeley. And so without much preparation, I just finished my semester, got rid of most of my belongings, and jumped on a plane and moved to San Francisco. I went over to Cal and found out the requirements for their business school, and I was lacking some math. And so I went to a local community college and took some math courses and kind of ran out of money and went to work and had to support myself, and college kind of got put on the back burner. A couple of years later, I entered a program at USF, University of San Francisco, to finish my degree in 1 year in the evenings, and I was part of the way through that and suffered a serious injury which didn't allow me to go to school, so I had to stop that program, and then life really got in the way. And I never went back, and that was the end of my education. So the business I'm in now is called At a Garage, and we build garages, and so we do excavation and concrete work and shoring and structural steel and all sorts of fun, dangerous stuff.